Shabbos Daf Kufta Zayin. Today's email comes to us from Yankel Shepherd. During one of the shurim recently, we discussed about making peace with somebody that you're in a fight with to increase achdus, to break this corona that is creating a divide. We can't go to shul, weddings, social distancing, etc. So he writes, hope you are all well, you and your family. Straight after shir yesterday, I phoned someone. Thanks. Kol hakavod, way to go. Be'ez Hashem, many of us will call out, reach out to people that we weren't on such great terms. And he writes, during coronavirus, I learn every day the daf 4 times, prepare it myself. Hatzlacha Yankel. The parsha of Vayihi ben Tzaya Aron starts with the upside down nun and ends with the upside down nun. And the shaila is why? Machlokes. According to Rav Shimon Gamliel, this parsha doesn't belong here. It belongs by the Dgalim. When Yehuda moved, then Reuven moved, then the Mishkan moved. And in the Mishkan was the Aron, so it should be over there. La'asa Lava, it's going to be there. So why is it here? The Torah wanted to break up two bad episodes in Klal Yisrael. The episode of the Asafsuf where they complained they wanted meat. So that was Vayisu Mahar Hashem. That was the Asafsuf, the beginning. Then comes the parsha of Vayi ben Tzaya Aron. And then later on, the parsha of Misoinim, they complained about how hard the way is. Rebbe says no, Vayi ben Tzaya Aron belongs right there, and it's to show us that Vayi ben Tzaya Aron is a sefer by itself. According to Rebbe, we actually have 7 Sfarim. Nacham Yishuchim Sh'Torah. We have until Bamidbar is 4, Vayi ben Tzaya is 5. After that, the rest of Bamidbar is 6, and the Varim is 7. The Gemara has a suffix. What about the margins? Excuse me, the blank parts of the Sefer Torah, the white. Do we save that from a flame? Now, if there were words on it and the words popped off, the Gemara says, I can understand that there's no Kedusha anymore. It was only Kaddish because there's words. But when it started out blank, and that's how it's meant to be, maybe the Kedusha remains. Don't bring a raya, says the Gemara, from the fact that if you touch the blank parts of a Sefer Torah with your hands, you become Tami. That's one of the 18 enactments of Beis Shammai. It's very possible that it only has a Kedusha because of the rest of the Sefer Torah. There's a brayso that says that a Sefer Torah of a min, but it also says, and Gilyon, and blank parts, the margins. So we have to explain, and it says, those Sefer Torah, we're going to go into the halacha soon, you don't save them. But we have to explain that what the brayso means to say is that a Sefer Torah of a min is equal to a blank Sefer Torah. In other words, it has no value, you don't have to save it. What do you do with the Sefer Torah of a min machlokes? According to Rabbi Yossi, you cut out all the askaris, all the names of Hashem, and then you take the rest of the Sefer Torah, you throw it into a fire. Rabbi Tarfon says, and everybody agrees, that if a flame comes towards the Sefer Torah, you don't have to save the Shem Hashem. Rabbi Tarfon says, a kapach hasbonai. It's a lashon of, I swear on my sons. Only Rabbi Tarfon says this in Shas. That if a Sefer Torah like this comes to my hands, I'll take the whole Sefer Torah with Shem Hashem and throw it into a fire. He says if a murderer is chasing him, he would run into a Beis Avodah Zarah rather than go into a home of a min. Therefore, the Shem Hashem has no value. It was without Kavanah and maybe even the Shem Avodah Zarah. In fact, he says the pasuk that David HaMelech says, Misanecha Hashem Esna is referring to a min. I hate those who hate you, Hashem. And I'll stand up to those who stand up against you. I'll fight with them. The utmost hatred I have towards them. They asked Rabbi Vo, what about a Sefer Torah that's in Be'avidon? It's a debate hall. Is that also considered that of a min, of apikarsis, or no, they just want to debate? One time he said yes, and he said no, and he wasn't sure. In Valav Rafi Biyade. Rav would never go to Be'avidon, it was dangerous. If you beat them, they could kill you. Shmuel would go, but he wouldn't go into Beis Avodah Zarah. Rava always tried to get out of it. He made excuses. There's a big tree, there's dirt, there's a bump in the road. He wouldn't go there. Mar Bar Rav Yosef said, I'm not scared of these people. I know them. And he went there, and in fact, they wanted to kill him. The Gemara tells a very interesting story about Rabbi Gamliel and his own sister, Ima Shalom. They wanted to expose one of these philosophers, Minim, who claimed that he never takes bribes. He's a judge, never takes bribes. So they went to him, and before they went to him, Ima Shalom sent him a golden menorah from herself. And then they asked the question, we have a Yerusha, can we split it? He said, sure, but I'm a woman. If there's a man, the woman doesn't get a Yerusha. If there's a son, the daughter doesn't get a Yerusha. He said, no, there's a new Torah now. The following day, Rabbi Gamliel sent him a donkey from Luv, the Rolls Royce of donkeys. He switched his mind. He said, no, but if you look at the end of our new Sefer, it says everything in the Torah is correct, and when there's a son, the daughter doesn't get anything. So Ima Shalom hints to him, What about the light? The light from the menorah. She didn't say menorah, but the light. Says Rabbi Gamliel, don't worry about it. The donkey already broke your menorah. We were discussing ksuvim on Shabbos. If you need it for a drasha, you're trying to figure something out from a pasuk, you're allowed to read it. But you're just not allowed to read it plain mishlei shir shir. Rav says, in the Beis HaMedrash, it's always usher to read ksuvim. And Shmuel says, and even according to one lashon in Rav, at the time of the drasha, in the Beis HaMedrash is usher. That's before the meal, because we want people to come to the Beis HaMedrash to read to hear the drashas and the halachas. But after the drasha, after the meal, people are already drunk, so they might as well read the ksuvim. Rav Ashi says that Shmuel brought a halacha from Reb Nechemia. Reb Nechemia says the reason why you can't read ksuvim on Shabbos is that people should make a kavachomer and say, if you cannot read ksuvim, then certainly you shouldn't read shtarei edyotos. Over here, Rashi says shtarei edyotos are just regular letters. Other places he says it means something that has to do with business. Tais brings a whole discussion if you're allowed to read regular books and magazines, etc. But Shmuel himself holds that you're allowed to read ksuvim in his city. They read it by mincha. Says the Mishnah, you can save a Sefer Torah together with the case of the Sefer Torah, even if the case has money, same halacha with tefillin. Where do you save the Sefer Torah to? To a mavoi that is enclosed on three sides, as the Gemara explains, with a lechi. Ben Beser says it's closed on three sides, even without a lechi, you're allowed to save it there. The Gemara says, Erev Pesach, that falls out on a Shabbos, how much of the hide can you remove from the animal? According to Rabbi Shmuel, B'nai Rabbi Yechim and Broika, you can only save as much as you need, in other words, up until the chest, so you can remove the Eivarim. According to Rabbanan, you can remove all of it. The Torah says, Kol Poyel Hashem L'Maneu, everything HaKadosh Baruch Hu did, he did it for his own honor. Rav Yosef says, in other words, that the animal shouldn't spoil, so you have to remove it all. It's better to remove it all. Rava says that the Korban Pesach shouldn't be laying around like a nevela. What's the difference between the two shitas? What if you put the Korban Pesach on top of a golden table? It's not laying like a nevela, but it could still spoil. Or if there's a nice wind, a northern wind, it won't spoil, but it still looks like an avela. And tomorrow we'll discuss how this has to do with our sugya, a raya from our Mishnah. Have a wonderful day.